Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I haven't been on here in a couple hours. One, I took a nap because I was up since 3 a.m. this morning. I took a nap. It was like a 30-minute nap, but I didn't get into the house till like 3 o'clock. So that's 12 hours. Plus, I thought my car got towed. I was about to go off in this world, this lonely, lonely world without my baby, Chevy. I call her Chevy, but she's not a Chevy. I wouldn't put that out there. I wouldn't, like, seriously. So you can look for a Chevy all you want. So anyway, like I was saying, today is a really happy day for me. I'm supposed to be interviewing some people tomorrow. It looks like I'm gonna be at home, possibly. I want to see. I may go out there to see what I can possibly get done to Olympia, to see if she can email the copy of the contract. You know, if she can't, it's still okay. Um, I'll see what can be done. I'll go up there. It's no biggie. I'll go up there and probably hang out, you know. Um, what else? Um, oh, the good thing. I got some real good news, but I'm afraid to say it because it always get foiled. I figure if I start my class, hold on. Before I get started editing a video, I like to say something. I got to set my scene. Hold on. If I overlap a class, if I start overlapping classes next semester, which I'm afraid to do with the last class, the next class, I have to actually write down that I have to look at Excel. Oh, I see where she said it. Microsoft Office tutorial. She is so smart. Let me make sure. Speaker notes. I know that's right. I'll be using Excel, but I use Excel, but I never actually used Excel like that. Matter of fact, Excel. Okay, basic. Create charts. Cool, cool, cool. I know what to do now. I'll be reading that on this weekend for my next class. But the good news is, I if I'm 9 credits away from graduating, I can graduate early, which means I can get my cap and gown. I can get my not degree certificate, but I can get the plaque that goes with it. I don't need no announcements. It's just me. And what did it say? What comes with it? The frame, the cap and gown, the hood, the master's cap and gown, and everything. And the way, if you, I want to show you something real quick. Give me 10 minutes of your time. I got 6 minutes left. I want y'all in on it. Ah, no, wrong thing, wrong thing. Go back, retreat. So associates degree, this is how they look. They just basic. I have my associates. And then you go back, then you go back, and you go to bachelor's. This is how it look. It has like a little tassel. Hold on. Hello? It's an honor to talk to you, by the way. I just wanted to say that I'm on. Yes, yes, ma'am. I just wanted to know what is like the pricing for the actual contract. Okay, I'm doing like a 30-minute. Yes, ma'am. That's true. That's true. Oh, well, right now what I'm doing is I am interviewing people about their past, present, and future, and I highlight different snippets. Like what I mean by that is if they're an author, I highlight that. Like I've interviewed Will Roberts from Oppenheimer. I've interviewed DC Glenn, the guy that raps. There it is. I've interviewed Kevin Stone, which he is a famous Hollywood hypnotherapist and has celebrity boot camp. I've interviewed Zachary Waldman, which he is a famous Hollywood magician, and many more. But huh? StreamYard. Oh, um, okay. I can start using Zoom. I mean, it's pretty quite easy to use. If you can't use it, it's fine. I'll use Zoom. Well, what I'm trying to do is interview people about their past, present, and future, and just have a better setting other than the same old setting that I have right now. Well, I need a setup, like a newsroom setup or some type of newsroom setup where, you have the flowers on the side or a desk table. And I have this lady coming. I don't know what date, but I have her coming to Thurston County Media by the end of this month, probably sometime next week. I scheduled for her. And she really wants to be on the show. So I just figured that's what. Well, what I was, yeah, StreamYard isn't something you like download. It's just like Zoom, except it's a little easier, like to edit the videos because they have software for it. But Kate actually understood what I was saying when I told her about StreamYard. She said that, you, okay, yes, ma'am. Both, if not, because I'm not used to doing Zoom. I can work with you with Zoom, but I just don't. Do you give me like the thumb drive, or how does it work? Because I have two Apples. computers. Would you like for me to log in and do like because I have to play around with Zoom. I don't know how it works no more. It's been like years since I used it. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, I distributed to DCTV, Santa Barbara Television, Longpro, because I've been with them like for years, and I was with Nashville, but it was a conflict of interest. And who else? I have it on Apple Podcasts. I have it on KCAA affiliates at NBC. I have it on. Not yet. That's why I want to use your platform for right now to build a portfolio. I've been doing this for 4 years. No, I haven't done money. Yes, cloud show. What would you like to do then? Because I can still interview them to tomorrow, not at your studio, but at my house. But really, I would like to go over it so that next week it will be a little better. I understand. Yes. Let me look at my schedule real quick. I don't want to waste your. Yes, yes, because it was a lady that wanted to come in the studio. Let me look. So next week will be the 27th, I believe. And I think it's not that one. I wanted to do the 28th running for US Senate, and then it was another one. I think it's the 31st. No, not the 31st. Hold on. I made her banner already. Sharon Brock. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Is she alive and well? No, the 30th. The 30th at 10 a.m. Yes, definitely. She's going to show up for the studio. Start record. Yeah, that's true. Oh, so you want me to try to tell her probably 11? Let me look. That has to be Friday. No, Thursday. Yeah. Okay. I can make it there. Not to record. I understand. She's a wonderful person. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I am. So like 1 p.m. or I'll be there. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. All right. Bye. Sorry, you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna put this down a little bit if I can do this. Let me move this. Okay. I have to write Louis Grantino. Let me go in his, no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. So let's see. Let me write him 4 p.m. 2, 3, 4. Be back by 4. I think I wrote her. I have to write him and tell him 5 p.m. Oh God. I hate when they send me those messages. I don't even know where these messages are coming from. I'm tired of seeing these messages. It's sick. It sickens me. I be deleting them and they keep popping back. People may think that I put in something, but I haven't. Maybe years, decades ago. I don't know. Give me a second. What's his name again? Shoot. 11. The expert. Louis Scrantino. 9. Sandra Lott. Is at what time? Let me get my handy dandy stuff out. Hold on. Because I got to make sure I get these appointments on time before I miss out on them. That's not it. So we got Louis Scrantino, 1:30, Sandra Lott. I made sure I changed the appointment for what time. And I got to write Miss Pudding. Hold on. 4 p.m. Pacific. Sandra Lott, 4 p.m. Pacific. Now Louis Scrantino. His name did not even come up. Let me call. I can't call him. Hold on. Luis, I am getting together with the CEO of Thurston County Media. 2 hours away and wanted to know how I can. Thurston County. I know, don't laugh. Thurston Community Media. How I can away and wanted to know how I can reschedule like at 3 p.m. Not 3 p.m. Yeah, 3. No, I don't. I'll be pushing it 5 p.m. Pacific. Let me know ASAP. On the same day. Now let me reschedule um, Sandra. Let's see. Uh, Friday 4 p.m. will work. No, that's Sandra Lott. I mean, what is her name? Andrea. What? He screenshot everything. I know that's right, Andrea. Okay, hold up. I apply for her stuff. I owe it to her. Okay. What dates do I have available? The 26th, the 27th is 27th. It is. At what time? 4 p.m. Let's see. Andrea putting. That's Monday, right? Yeah. 27th, 4 p.m. Make banner again. I should have kept it up. I didn't think she was going to look right away. 27th, Monday, May at 4 p.m. Okay. Ah! Please share anything. I will make the banner this weekend. Cheers. She's all the way in Canada. No, Australia. I cannot wait to pick her brain for her information. We can listen to this. I've been listening to this. I had to go to sleep listening to this to regenerate my body. Keep that up. This up. Okay. Now I sit up there and edit these videos. Now it come down. No excuses. Woman, how many minutes we're at? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Recording. It was worth it. Oh my God, what am I going to wear? I got to wear something professional. I was going to wear something professional already, you know. Let me see. Homework part one. Homework part one. I don't need that no more on my broadcast. Okay, so that's downloading. Oh, I forgot to show y'all real quick while that's downloading. Hold on. So this is how it looks for masters. The actual what is it called? What? 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 I should watch that. The Ladies of Glory. Uh, tassel. But I would always already I would need a military cord too. Oh, it's complimentary. Oh, I know that's right. Oh, dang, we about to make a change up in here. Let me stop. I am so excited to graduate in August, yo. I am so excited. And then I could work on my doctorates. I gotta let my people, I'll just say my people know soon as possible. And this is the frame that I have to buy for my Coppin State degree. And I gotta put in for my what is it? My associate's degree. Uh, just back and forth. Back, forth and forth. Good. Both of them is downloaded. Okay. That's good. Now what? I am not promising nobody else that I interview that I'm going to edit their video right away. Only reason I say that is because I have 3 months to complete 60 backlog items, if not more. I can't keep promising. I just feel like I want to make it work. Okay, so we got, where is it at? Where's the other one? Here we go. Two smart people. That's why I did it. I did it because they both smart. Okay, we're gonna put you right there. All of them smart. Now they're gonna twist the words out of my mouth. Said, "What you mean?" I no, I'm not meaning like that. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying they are smart people. Both of them all have something. I like talking to all people that's older than me. Like I had this one female doctor. Come on, I had this one female doctor come on the show. I'm about to show y'all. Give me a second. I had this one female doctor come on the show, and she sat up there and rocked it. I'm gonna do some type of stem cell for my arthritis and my broken joints. That way, it can reheal and regenerate itself. And she was telling me about that. A white lady, Caucasian white lady, just like she's a wonderful lady. Very, she's a doctor that specializes in a lot of different things. Like she's like a woman Dr. House. And then I met a guy that specializes in other things like a male Dr. House. So it went both ways. I got to speak to a lot of great people, man. All over. Where is it at? Oh my God. It intersects with it. I'm about to show y'all in a second. I'm just setting it up. I hate when that happens. Here it is. Now the music gone. Where the music at? The music gone for everything except the beginning. Okay. Okay. Now we're about to do this. Fiddlesticks. They can't copyright infringe me for doing that. Sean J.R. Rennie and Damon Cunningham. That's what they're going to say when he gets on the stage. She's going to be so scared. One day he's going to be on a high stage with a lot of people. Both of their wishes is going to come true. Oh, heck no. We need some heat in here. Let's try it again. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very, very special spiritual guest for the show. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are? Oh, yeah. I got a lot of editing for that one. She said it could be an hour. I don't want it to go over 9 minutes, so I'm going to have to cut some things out. Let's tig and tag real quick. Okay. Okay, go back. Try it again. Hold up. What's up with that? Hold on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very, very special spiritual guest for the show. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
Sure. My name is JR. I'm a born-again son of the Most High God, and I am living currently in the northern Idaho area of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Great. And can we go ahead and just go ahead and dig into your past leading up into what you do now in your present?
Sure. In 1987, I established a software company that does accounting software for wholesale distribution and manufacturing companies. And I really thought that that was going to be how I lived out my life and how I was going to retire in that area. And because of circumstances beyond my control in 2015, I realized that I needed to start to wind down that company, but still keep it going. And I had a lot of time on my hand in 2016 going, all right, I know God's in the middle of this, trying to figure out what he wanted. And at the end of 2016, he introduced me to this assessment program that are called the YMI assessments. And in 2017, I was looking at this personality assessment program that was only used in private corporate consulting. And I go, this is for the church. And I've never seen anything like this for the church. So then I had to figure out, all right, well, how do I present this to the church, a secular product, and get it so that people can actually discover their God-given purpose and design? And that's when Brushfire's ministry was conceived. That's when the curriculum was written. And we've been doing that ever since 2017.
Well, tell me about the product that you or the software, the YMI. Tell me more, or I hope I said that right. Tell me about that more.
Yeah, so the YMI assessments are what's called a psychometric assessment. We've all done assessments like your love languages, or, are you a beaver, or you're a greyhound, or, all these things that, are very, very vague and not specifically very helpful. What makes a psychometric assessment different is that they have been tested based upon reliability and validity. Do they really measure and result what they say they do, and are they reliable? Will they always come up with the same results? Psychometric assessments that people are familiar with would be, say, Clifford Strengths or DISC. Those are ones that most of the world knows about. The YMI assessments were used exclusively in private consulting. They were never made available until we were given the rights to be able to do that. And so the concept is that your wiring, your personality, your interests, abilities, and values are consistent from the very time that you take your very first breath. It is part of your DNA. We would call it your design nature acquired. This is the part of God that is in you that is waiting for you to discover and live out for his purposes. And so it doesn't change if you're 18 or 48 or 88. It's always waiting for you to discover and to live it out. And that's really what I found out back in 2017. And that's why it caught my attention, is the accuracy, validity, and reliability of these assessments.
Do you feel like it's at least 100% accurate or 50% accurate, or what is your measure on that?
I would say in my personal life, it nailed me. That's the thing that I'm not a very extroverted individual. I'm sort of right there in the middle. And so I don't go around and let people know all about my business or all my thoughts and so forth. And so as I'm taking this assessment, I was really into maybe the second or third of the there's a total of 11 assessments in our program. And I'm going, man, this is nailing me. And my wife, who I told you earlier, we've been married this summer 45 years. My wife was doing it also at the same time. And so this is a woman, of all the people out there in the world, that I know better than any other human being other than myself. I'm going, and it nailed her. It really described her. And it wasn't in psychobabble, and it wasn't in some kind of beaver or, basset hound or whatever all the different other terms are. They were in terms that you could understand and that you could immediately apply. For instance, if I told you that part of my temperament is 100% planner, you would know what that meant. In fact, you and I were corresponding just a few minutes before the broadcast about getting a link, because I plan to make sure that it happens. I'm looking for all the resources, and I work in that kind of mindset. And so when you know that a person is a planner, you kind of have an idea as to how they are wired and what they expect and so forth. And the reality is all those things are perfect. There's not one design type that is different or better than another. You may say, well, gee, I wish I was more of a planner. No, don't do that. If you're a high adapter, which is the opposite of a planner, you live out that version of you, because that's what God created you to do. And everything outside of that is just going to make you miserable and frustrated, and you'll be suffering from comparison. And it's just not worth it.
Well said, Mr. JR. So I have a question. Well, I have a statement. If you're an introvert and extrovert, that equals ambivert, an ambivert. Basically, that's what that is. So that's what you are. And you basically between intro and extro. So now my next question is, you told me briefly the history. Well, you told me about it. And now I want to know who created the spectrum of, jotting down, not jotting down, but exploring your innermost secrets, or however it works, because I'm listening to you, but I just want to know the history behind it. Who created this?
Yeah, the assessments themselves were created by an organization called Strategic People Development, and that was started in the 80s. The interesting thing is that the company behind that, or the individual behind that, Stephen Johnson. So in 2017, where I'm figuring out, all right, I'm going to use these assessments, but I don't own them. So I need to be able to have some resources to be able to do this. And I'm not a psychologist. That's not my background. I'm a software developer, a business owner. So I tracked down Stephen through social media, and he picks up the phone and goes, "Hi, this is Stephen. I'm not doing any clients anymore. And you and I can talk and so forth." And he goes, "What do you want?" I Well, I learned these assessments through one of your consultants, and I realized that they're intended for the church. He goes, what do you mean? And so I started to explain the vision of Fresh Fire's ministry, what we wanted to do. And he goes, all right, you can call me whenever you want. I have had countless consulting, educational training calls with Stephen. He has been so gracious. He has basically given his entire life's work of all the books he's written to our ministry for us to be able to use to be able to fund the ministry. And so at some point in time, we're having a discussion, and he goes, well, I always intended it for the church. I go, what? Well, first of all, Stephen is a born-again believer. And when he wrote it in the 80s, he tried to bring it to the church. And the church was like, nah, I'm not interested, don't want it, sounds too worldly, whatever they said. And he said, all right, fine.
Vision. You saw his vision. You said that it was meant for church, and he said, "What do you mean?" But now he said that it was actually intended for church. That's crazy.
That was always his desire. And in 2019, we're having one of our conversations, and he goes, "JR, if you want to remarket this, we'll work out some kind of agreement." He knew I had no money because the other business was closing down. And so he said, I'm going to make it available to you. We'll make it affordable so that we can sort of share the rights. But you got it. And I go, man, what changed your mind, Stephen? And he goes, you have made more progress in 30 years than anybody else has to get this back into the church. And that's when I heard his story. And, and this frustration where he was giving it away to the church and they just simply wouldn't have it. And he saw my design. He knew my design was different than his, and that I had the wiring to be able to persevere and make this happen. Obviously, with God opening up the doors and so forth. We were living out his legacy, and a good part of what it is that we are doing now was set in motion back in the 80s when he began developing these assessments.
Well said. So, how does the TMI converge with church? And last question about this, and then we're going to move on.
Sure. Well, YMI, just to correct you on that, and was set in motion back in the 80s when he began developing these assessments.
Well said. So, how does the TMI converge with church? And last question about this, and then we're going to move on. Sure. Well,
YMI, just to correct you on that. And,
I'm sorry.
And no, it's okay. And you can think about it, when a person is going to God and go, why am I like this? Why am I, emotional? Why am I, not emotional? Why am I highly organized? Why is I, that's the way of looking at it. Yes. And so one of the things that we caught early on, and this is what we teach, because, obviously with God opening up the doors and so forth, we were living out his legacy. And a good part of what it is that we are doing now was set in motion back in the 80s when he began developing these assessments that we caught early on. And this is what we teach, because the assessments, developing these assessments. One of the things that we caught early on, and this is what we teach, because the assessments are, in most cases, when a person takes an assessment, think of it as a mirror. Okay. And they're examining their face and so forth. And just like scripture says, as soon as that mirror goes down, they forget who they are. Well, that's an important element because it vets how accurate it is. But what's really important is for you to then realize that you are intentionally created this way. And there are people out there in your church, in your family, that are wired differently than you are, intentionally by God. And the enemy is going to exploit those differences. So we talked about planner and adapter. I'm 100% planner. Adapters used to drive me crazy because they wouldn't commit to something. if you had a party, they'd be the very last one if they ever RSVP. You know, they don't like being constrained. They don't like being constrained to, you know, a schedule. They just want to be able to be free and kind of wing it all the time. And what I learned is that is an absolutely necessary quality for certain jobs in the kingdom to be done. For instance, if you're a really high planner like I am, and you're going to try to minister to junior hires, good luck. That's like herding kittens. You're not going to get control of, you know, a bunch of 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds. You better be a high adapter to be able to work with that group of children, because they're going to run you crazy if you're trying to get them to fulfill your plans and your, you know, your expectations. So there are very necessary jobs out there for all different design types. And by understanding how you're wired, you can find your job, but you can also discover that that job or that wiring can conflict with other people. And now you can start to give them grace. Oh, you're a high adapter. All right, well then I shouldn't expect you to act and react like I do. And you're perfect as God's created you to be. And I'm not going to try to project my design on you. That's a huge part of what we teach, is how to build unity within a body, within the body of Christ, and not allow the enemy to exploit our differences.
Well said. And to piggyback off of you, I don't know everything. Like, I don't read that much, but I will say this. What I said in a couple of months ago, if not a month, I said that teachers, for instance, have to learn how to adapt the children, because if they don't adapt to the children, it'll be hard for them. Because if you come in, like you said, thinking that it's going to go one way, you have to adapt to what they're going through and their personalities, because they all stem from different environments, you know, different personalities, different codes. So you're right.
Yep.
So tell me, you know, about your what is it called? We talked about it before the show, and I asked you before, about your shop owning. So tell me, you know, about your what is it called? We talked about it before the show, and I asked you before. Yes, tell me about the digital. Tell me, you know, about your. Yes, tell me about the digital. Yes, tell me about the digital. Yes.
So, of course.
Yes, tell me about the digital. Yes.
So,
you know, about your. Yes, tell me about the digital. You know, about your. Yes, tell me about the digital. You know, about your. Yes, tell me about the digital. Yes.
So, starting in 2018, we had written the curriculum.
So tell me. So you're right.
Yep.
So tell me, you know, about your. Yes, tell me about the digital. Yes.
So, starting in 2018, we had written the curriculum, which is effectively 8 sessions. One is your God-given identity. You are a born-again child of God. What does that mean? That God really does have a plan for your life, and it's for your benefit, and you kind of need to figure that out to be able to please Him. Service. That service is not a 4-letter word. It's actually something that you'll enjoy, because it's the fulfillment of who you are. Worship and praise has to do with that desire that you want to have a close relationship with God, and He can only accomplish His will through you, okay, when you start to align your purposes with Him. And the results of that will blow your mind. I can't tell you, Kimberly, the words of knowledge that I'm given during my coaching sessions, where things that are revealed to me about the person that I should never know, and their eyes go wide. Well, why? The Holy Spirit knows what's going on in their life, and because of the structure of our coaching sessions, He works through me to be able to reveal things that I need to know to be able to help this person. Orphan child identity is where we reveal some of the tactics that the enemy uses to create conflict, to cause you to doubt your God, to cause you to doubt your own abilities, and create all those orphaned mindsets. And then we end with engaged listening, a spiritual gifts assessment, and then a review of what a design discovery meeting is. All that is in the original workshop, and those were all only done in live sessions until we had business people that came alongside that believed in our ministry that funded the video series. And so the funding of the video series started in 21. We did the filming in 22, the end of 22. 23 was the year of editing, which was really, really laborious. So your listeners out there that are in editing, God bless you. You have a gift set that I am so grateful for. And then at the end of 23, we released the online digital series as brushfires-digital.com. And so anybody in the English-speaking world can go to our site, watch our training, do the assessments, sign up for our coaching, and be able to get the same benefit that was only available in our small corner here in the Pacific Northwest. It's now available throughout all of North America and really anywhere that that's sort of English speaking at this time.
Okay, and how many people have joined and how many people are with the program?
So we have currently completed nearly 250 design discovery meetings, and that's where they actually get the entire purpose. And then there's been probably an additional 100 or more that have taken the course but not gone through that final stage, probably 150 or more. So probably close to 500 people at this point have gone through our program and have gotten the benefits. Some of them have gone on to become counselors. Some of them have gone on to reconcile their marriages. One of the best stories was a young couple that was in our class. And I didn't know, most of the people that come to our program, I don't know who they are. I don't know anything about them. The program is all lectures, so I don't really have a whole lot of time to get to know them. But I was doing the husband's design discovery meeting, which is where we actually kind of go through all the ins and outs, and we come up with this purpose statement. And I get a text about 3 or 4 days later from his wife. She goes, "I want to thank you for what you did for my husband. It really allows me to see him with different eyes. And oh, by the way, it has been the most significant thing that has reconciled our marriage. We've been separated for a year." And it was a classic difference between a high-thinking woman and a high-feeling man, which falls outside of the scope of what the world expects people to be like. And the conflict was, he's trying to love her the best way he can, and she's got this expectation that he's got to be this high-thinking, military type of mindset, and that's never going to happen. But by the benefit of our course, she was able to see him as God created him. About 3 weeks after her DDM, they moved back in and have been reconciled ever since. And understand this, Kim, I did not know this about them. They came in, they were smiling, they were happy. I thought, God bless them, good-looking couple, happy to minister them. I had no idea that they were struggling in their marriage, but God did. And the things that we shared began to mend that marriage.
Wow. How long is the course for?
It is in 8 sessions, so you can typically do it within a month to 2 months. And it's each session is about an hour of video recordings broken up into about 3 to 4 videos. So each video is about 15 minutes, and I think there's a total of close to 40 videos in the entire program.
Wow. So what do the people get out of learning about this? Before I ask that question, or let me ask it, what do the people get out from your perspective of taking this course? What do they get out of it?
So I would, well, first of all, they get to figure out how the guy created them and that they're not broken. That's a real common one. I don't measure up to my friend Kim. I don't measure up to this person or that person. And so therefore this whole comparison mindset is going through their heads where they don't match up to people that they respect and admire. And they're not broken. I had one lady who was a high refiner maximizer, and she, after getting her DDM, I mean, this is a beautiful young woman. I mean, the sort of person that you would look from the outside and go, she's got everything going on, so forth. And she looks at me and she goes, "You mean I'm not weird? I can't help but see what's wrong all the time." I go, "No, you're beautiful as you are. You're there to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and things are done to a high godly standard. And that is beautiful. So you go ahead and be you." The funny thing is that she really wanted to take the program. Her husband was like, I don't want to do this. But she drug him to the course anyway. And I get this text from him about 2 weeks into the course. He goes, "JR, I got to be honest, I really didn't want to do your program. But man, this has changed our marriage."
Yeah. And have you ever been to like retreats with them? Like retreats or anything? Just asking.
That is something that is down the line. We have 2 additional assessments. I was actually given a reminder that are specifically in about relationship and about relationship building and so forth. And we have the framework of doing this as a getaway retreat. I just got so many things on my plate between the various books that we've done and this digital series. Our real focus right now is getting small groups and churches throughout North America to start to use our video series and for the lay people in the church to begin to actively doing what it is that God created them to do, and the churches leaders to disciple them based upon what God created them to do. There's a section in Proverbs where it goes, "Raise up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it." Well, when you look at design, that has a whole new light. Don't raise that child up to be like me if they're not like you. Don't raise them up to be like the pastor if they're not designed like the pastor. Take the time to figure out how the people that you are leading are wired and then disciple them accordingly. If they have a wiring that allows them to be a good counselor, get them going in that direction. If they've got teaching credentials, to be able to rightly interpret scripture, then get them to a good training program. If we can figure out how it is the people in our congregations are wired, it's like this. Your church is all about building automobiles. That's what the leadership thinks. It's all about building this automobile, this plane, this machine. And the congregants are 2x4s and bags of concrete and nails and screws and roofing materials. Well, if God has given you a congregation of home builders, stop building cars and start building homes. Figure out who the congregants are in your church and align your agenda with the people that God has given you and the giftings that they have. You want to blow your mind. Go back and read where God gives Moses the specifics about building the tabernacle and how very specific he was. I forget the guy's name. He goes, but go talk to Fred. I've already gifted Fred in being able to do good jewelry work and fine craftsmanship in building the ark and building these items. And oh, by the way, there's Mark over here who's in a different tribe, and I've already created him to be able to assist Fred. Now, those aren't the biblical names. I forget the names, but God is very specific. He knows exactly who it is he's gifted to be able to accomplish his will. And he's just waiting for us to get on board with his agenda in the church.
Okay, 2 more questions. about Stephen with YMI. Was he a psychologist? Psychiatrist?
No,
What
I always
was?
assumed he was. I wasn't. I assumed he was. So
Yeah.
he was working in a bank, and the bank was going from their traditional banking style to I think they called it something like customer centric or customer relational banking. And so all these departments were going to get closed, and all these new departments were going to get open. And Stephen's job was to figure out, all right, I don't want these people to lose their job. How can I rightly put them into the right job in this new department? And so he met with a local psychologist in the Denver area, I believe, and started developing these assessments. And once he had done that successfully for that bank, he then went out and started this as his private business, private consulting. I mean, he worked with some really heavy hitters. We're talking Coca-Cola, Clorox,
Yeah.
IBM Technologies, Lucent Technologies. He worked with all these heavy hitters, and basically his job was to come in and figure out what's wrong with the people. Why is this person that used to be my top salesperson no longer productive? How do we replace this CEO that wants to retire? How do we build a team that's more cohesive? And all these experiences in dealing with personnel conflict and fixing these people-related problems is how the assessment and his consulting business was established. And it's the exact same thing that the church needs today. We have people that, won't talk to each other. We have churches that won't collaborate with one another. We have ministries that are starving for resources that are really doing God's work, and nobody else in the community is funding them. Why are we doing that? I'm not going to name names, but there is one particular church in our area that has a rehabilitation program where they take in people with addiction problems, and their success rate is off the chart. And I was told that not a single church in that community funds it. Not a single church will say, here's $1,000. You guys are doing great work. That breaks my heart.
Yeah,
How many more people could be healed from fentanyl addiction and still live? How many people could have restored families if the churches in the area simply said, you know what, I believe in that ministry, here's a check, go off and do it. But we don't work that way in the body of Christ yet. And that's what our ministry is about, is the collaboration of within a church, but also in a greater sense, the collaboration within the kingdom, so that we all begin to excel at what we are designed to excel in, and then partner with those that, are doing it in a different field.
Okay, I had a light bulb tick on because I want to know something from you. I want to know, these churches, do they have an app where maybe you can build an app in the future? Because my next question is going to be, where do you see yourself in the future? But I got to ask this. Maybe there should be an app for all churches, and you go around putting an app in for all churches to come together and start exploring and collaborating more, because it's like they're singular. They're not plural. They're not collaborating. They're not doing things that they should. Maybe an app that they know about, with they can type or write or even have a webinar, a group meeting about this. Maybe that'll make them feel more comfortable virtually, something like that. Because if we're people of Christ, we should not be being selfish, and harboring like people financial funds, for themselves and not distributing them to help other churches. That's how I feel.
I agree with you. And the thing is that because all the assessments that have been written in our program were written by born-again believers, we have a common database where we could actually develop that, but it's going to take a group of churches in the community that want to collaborate together. they would have to come alongside and say, yes, we are not frightened that you're going to apostatize our people, that if we have a gifted singer that is not getting as much time on stage in our ministry, and you need an additional worship leader, yeah, we're going to make that person available. Drummers are like gold for worship teams, because getting a good drummer is really hard, for some churches. And some churches have got a dozen great drummers, and they get to play once every 2 months. And so why don't we do this? But we could do this with administrators. We could do this with uh, um, church counseling. We could do this with family counseling. We could do this with every one of these things, where the person is committed to their home church, but they are sent out by that home church to their neighboring church to help a struggling family, or to do a fundraiser, or to do whatever. I mean, why is that not possible within the body of Christ? If we are really focused on kingdom matters, why not? And the thing is that we have the database that would allow that to happen in a way that nobody would control it outside of another Christian ministry. So that some of your listeners feel compelled that they want to do that and start that in the community. And you can get 3 or 4 churches together that want to collaborate. Dude, we're all in. We'll be there. We'll do what we can to help make it happen.
Last question. Where do you see yourself going in the future with Brushfire Ministries?
So I've always been a person to measure expectations. I love for people to underestimate me and for me to blow their minds with the results. That was true in software. That's true in when I coach soccer. That's true in all these different areas. And so that was my expectation going into Brushfires. Since starting that back in 2017, we've acquired the rights to those assessments. Basically, they were no money up front. We've released 4 books. We have created the 2 main websites, one that does the assessments, the other one that does the digital workshop. We've done 20 workshops. All these things have happened. And I keep getting these dreamers, these high creative futurist people come through our program. And within a week, they're going, oh, this is going worldwide. This is going nationwide. This is going to be bigger than love languages. I mean, that's what people are speaking over us. I've had people pick us out as prophets out of the audience and go, you think that your best days are behind you. Oh, no. You're going to be talking in front of stadiums of people. You're going to be talking through corporate executives. You're going to be talking to. So I've now started to say, all right, I believe what they're saying. I believe that that's where this is going. So it's my responsibility is to continue to spearhead this ministry as it begins to heal the differences in churches and in families and in communities by understanding and God's design, and by people actively doing what God created to do. So that could be at some point in the accounting arm of our ministry. That could be in life coaching. We would love to work with as many life coaches that are out there that want to use our assessments as a common Christian-based program to be able to actively and accurately examine their people and use that as a tool in their coaching ministries to heal and inspire and coach their people to all that God wants to do. We're looking to have branches throughout all of North America where people can go to have a workshop that we can't fly to or whatever. So in the next 5 years, I fully expect God to continue to blow my mind as to where this is going. The difficult thing is, and he knows this about me, if he gives me a little glimpse of where he's leading me, oh, I'm like a horse out of the gate. I'm like building software, I'm building teams, I'm like this. So he just gives me a little faint little glimpse as to what he's going to do, so that I don't run ahead of him like I have a tendency to do.
Oh my God, I have one last thing to say. I promise you, I know I don't want to take no more of your time. Okay, so I don't know. I have one question before the question. Do you have like preaching events, like a convention where a bunch of preachers from different churches get together? Is that normal? Do that happen?
No, not yet, Kim. But I tell you, with influencers like you, with influencers like you out there getting the word out there, those are the sort of things that are going to happen. It's going to happen with that group of churches that we just talked about that want to collaborate together, and all of a sudden they are working better than they ever have had in the community. It's going to be, it's going to grow over time, and people like you getting the word out about our ministry, that's where we're headed, and that will blow my mind when that day happens. God's got so many sermons that He has put in my spirit about what it is that He wants His church to look like and how He wants us to work together, that there is going to be an audience one day for that. So I'm waiting on it, but it's coming.
Well said. I hope that one day it'll be a convention where all the preachers and all the ministers and all the great people of the church can get together and have one great speaker, which would be you, talk amongst them about your program, because it's such a good program. So how can the people reach you? That was you. It's such a good program.
Over time.
So how can the people reach you?
It's going to grow over time.
How can the people reach you?
It's going to be, it's going to grow over time. Grow over time.
How can the people reach you?
Grow over time. Grow over time.
How can the people reach you?
Grow over time. Yeah. Time.
How can the people reach you?
Grow over time.
How can the people reach you? That's the best.
So
that would do. That push you will reach you. That's the best.
So as it says on the over time.
How can the people reach you?
So as it says on the website, on the screen there, brushfires-digital.com is the best place to go there. If you're interested in actually doing our program, I would suggest the entry level or the premium package. Premium package gives you the greatest value, includes the coaching session, the design discovery meeting, and the purpose statement. But they can go there. They can do this as a small group. The summer's coming, and so you guys are looking to do something different during your summer break. Take us on as a small group. If your church leaders are interested, or you think they should be interested, get them to our site. Our 800 on the screen there, brushfires-digital.com is the best place to go there. If you're interested in actually doing our program, I would suggest the entry level or the premium package. Premium package gives you the greatest value, includes the coaching session, the design discovery meeting, and the purpose statement. But they can go there. They can do this as a small group. The summer's coming, and so you guys are looking to do something different during your summer break. Take us on as a small group. If your church leaders are interested, or you think they should be interested, get them to our site. Our 800 number is on the site. It's 888-287-1686. They can contact me that way. Number is on the Our 800 number is freshfires-digital.com is the best place to go there. Our 800 number is on the my is best place to go there. Our 800 number is on the best place to go there. Is best place to go there. Our 800 number is on the site. It's 888-287-1686. They can contact me that way, and really just we're very accessible. It's just a matter of how can we serve you? If there is a people connected problem in your life, in your family, in your church or community, Rush Fires can help solve that problem. I can guarantee it.
Well, I want to thank you. Stay on the line. I don't know if you can't do it.
1686. They can contact me that way.
Well, I want to thank you. Stay on the line. I want to thank you for joining my. I don't know if you stay on the line. I don't know if stay on the line.
They can contact me that way.
I want to thank you for joining my show, Mr. Junior and RJR. And you take care, be safe. You guys take care out there. Be safe, and I'll see y'all another time. Bye.
All right, bless you, Kim.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to choose another banner. This banner isn't working. I gotta have a water beast. Give me something.
All right, bless you, Kim. All right, bless you, Kim.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
What's happening, everybody? It's your man, Damon Cunningham, a.k.a. Dame D, NYDC, hosted 2 Mics Up. I'm coming to you live from the DMV area, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. Stand up.
Okay. I wanted to go ahead. It's not even about me. It's about you. All about you. I want to see your past leading up into your present, however long you want to put the spill.
Okay. Well, my past, so I'm a New York native. I was born in Brooklyn, grew up on Long Island, Roosevelt, Long Island, to be exact, home of Howard Stern, Eddie Murphy, Dr. J. So Roosevelt was I wouldn't say here, but it was a pretty busy place. You had a lot of different things. You're close enough, to the city, but yet far enough away. And my formative years, I really enjoyed it. It gave me the best of both worlds and really helped form the person I am today. I'll fast forward through high school and college. I was a pretty smart kid, but some who know me, I was busy. I was in and out of things in the sense of, if I look back, if I could have applied myself more, who knows what I may have been. But I was just happy sometimes. Okay, if I got to be, leave me alone. Okay, I did well enough. So, I was that kind of guy. My mid-20s, had my baby girl, and just really realized at that time New York was not really the place that I wanted to raise a family. One, growing up on Long Island, my parents' house, I was blessed. I grew up my house, we had over 20 rooms in my And I could put 400 people in my basement. I'm not even talking about my backyard. So we grew up in a big home, and just understanding what the property tax and what it cost back then there was just no way. So my wife and I, we came down to the Virginia area, and I've been here now. I mean, I love it. Probably the best thing that we did. Again, it kind of reminds me of back home, Long Island. We're close enough to DC, but we're far enough away. We have great entertainment, great nightlife, plenty of things to do. But I do want to share the thing that's gotten me to my current where I am right now, as far as 2 mics up and doing what I'm doing or trying to do really here in the community. 10 years ago, I should have lost my life. Found out that I was diabetic. Within basically a 3-week period, I had lost almost 100 pounds. And I have been going through some things where the Friday before I went back to see the specialist to get x-rays done, just the way he sat down on that Friday in his chair, after going to my doctor for like 2 weeks and we couldn't figure this thing out. The specialist sat down, and just the way that he sat, and he folded his hands and looked at me and just started asking me questions. And, he was like, look, what I'm asking you to do Monday, I want you to go back to the hospital first thing in the morning, get some additional x-rays done. He said, and from there, we'll figure out what we're going to do. Literally, I was there 7:30 Monday morning. I'm in at 8. I'm on my couch at 8:15. My wife is leaving to go to work, and the phone rings. Doctor says, come to the hospital ASAP. My wife, literally, she's in her car. I'm like, babe, I know you just left. They want me to come right now. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Literally, I walk in the hospital door, and I say my doctor's name. And they take me straight to the back. They're doing all type of blood work, all type of tests. One of the doctors said to me, he said, Mr. Cunningham, we're going to pray that we don't have to scrape your lung. Now, at the time, I had no idea. And I'm trying to ask her, he's like, he's talking to my wife. They're prepping me, taking me to the back. And at this time, I'm coughing up like this white, milky film. I mean, you can literally smell death coming through my pores. Because my wife asked me, roll down the window. This is how bad my body was becoming septic. And you could smell it coming through my pores. And I'm coughing the substance up, and they take me into the operating room. And, the doctor's like, they give me a local, like, hey, are you ready? I'm like, saying to the Lord, I really, it doesn't sound like I have a choice. And as he cuts me open, I'm coughing, and you can see the mucus and the phlegm just flying out of my chest. They hit the emergency button. All of these nurses come, they're trying to clean it. I'm still coughing. I got this cough, and it's coming out. They're trying to clean it up and trying to stop, the whatever it was from coming out of my body. They finally get the biggest tube. I mean, they went to about 4 tubes. They went and got the biggest tube that they can find to put in my chest just for it to drain. And this went on for the better part, 5 days I'm laying there. I've got CDC doctors. I've got every type of specialist you could imagine monitoring me, taking me back and forth, blood work, x-rays. This is around the clock. And the 6th day, I remember laying in the bed, and the doctor is talking to my daughter and my wife. And all I remember him saying was, right now we don't know what's going on. Nothing we're doing is helping your husband. And, all we can say is, if you believe in God, pray. And I remember sitting there, I'm in tears because I'm looking at my wife and my daughter. They're both trying to be strong for me. And I was like, God, you have to have something more in store for me. So I fast forward, 10 days later, thank the Lord, things change. I get released from the hospital. And when I came out, I could smell the blades of grass. I could see the bluest of blue in the sky like I had never seen it before. I began to see people in color. And it's just one of those things where, I'm never negative. I was never really a negative person. But it gives you a new lease on life, because how many times do you get that second opportunity? And from that second opportunity, I had started a career development company. I was working with young men and women, of color, working on, their careers. I mean, I worked in the government, and, I kind of have that background. So I wanted to help young men and women achieve their dreams, going, not just working a job, but understanding what a career is and how to drive that lane. But I still didn't feel fulfilled. And then we went through this whole Breonna Taylor and all the George Floyds. and some other business partners, friends really, they had their own businesses at the time. We would sit on Zoom calls Friday nights, maybe 8, 9 o'clock, and we'd be on until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, just trying to figure out ideas of what we could do collectively to make an impact, make a positive change in our community. My wife says to me, hey, don't want you to really mess up your job but why don't you think about being the voice of what you guys are trying to do? Give what you guys are doing, give it a voice, give it a platform. And from there, 2 Mics Up started. And here we are today. And that's what the platform is all about. We're all about, educating, empowering, and positively impacting others in our community. And we do that, whether it be one episode at a time through a business owner telling their journey, or now to our celebrity guests who come join us, talking about their careers and their career paths, to highlight, that educational piece that maybe you might hear something that says, you know what, I can do that, or I want to do that. And you'll go ahead and you'll make that change in our community.
Well said, by the way. I always give people suggestions and, interact with them. It sounds to me like I was telling the last person I spoke to go ahead and get like a convention, like do a convention center type get together. Mm-hmm. Now, imagine how many people would come if you can get people to come to a convention center for all the people that live in a ghetto, that wants to see change, that can't get out of the loop.
That's right.
You'd be like the speaker of that.
Mm-hmm. I would love to. I think, we live in I'll be honest with you, Kimberly, what blows my mind the most is we live in an age where you have access to so much information, but we are not geared or being trained to move towards accessing the information that we need to make our lives better. We're stuck in that circle of, all of this raggedy, ratchet, and everything that's negative and tear down. Well, we can find that quick, but to find the things that can, show you how to start a business, those same pair of Nikes that you're spending $250 on, go start your business. Just things along that, but we have to talk about it too. We can't be afraid to stand on your own, because the hardest thing to really do is to be yourself. It's easy to be a clone. You can hide behind that, but it's hard to be an individual. And that's what we have to push, our people towards and get them to understand.
Well said. For instance, I would like to say that I love rap music. I listen to the dark, to the people like DC Glenn, to the people like Lil Wayne. But there's a catch to that. I don't allow it to filter my mind. Okay. Heavy rap that and they're carrying guns, and then our children listen to it and want to carry a weapon or shoot somebody just to see how it is. Right. What is your insight on that?
So I'll be honest with you. Look, I'll be the first one to say, anybody who knows me, I grew up on rap music. I'm from New York. Yeah. The first thing I'm listening to in the morning is probably some type of hip hop rap song, something. And is it a little graphic? Yeah. But you have to understand what entertainment is, right? And understanding what some people's stories are. Now, I didn't come from the hardest of ghetto neighborhoods. I didn't come from, I grew up on Long Island. I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah, was it rough on Long Island? Yeah. Did I go to the Bronx and hang out with my people and family in the Bronx or Brooklyn and those neighborhoods where the crack dens were? And all? Yeah. Did I have I been shot at? Yes. But that does not make that my life. Do I understand it? Yes. But again, there's a reality here that I'm not going to go glorify that. I'm not going to go out and go ahead and promote that. Do I like it? Yeah, because it's part of my culture. It's part of who I am. But I also have to understand that my growth and my development is not just seen or told by that story that my favorite artist may be telling. That is also a way for me to understand, there's a means for me to be able to get away from that too. There's also means that I don't have to just say that, I want to be like my favorite rapper, because we're more than rappers. We're more than basketball players. We're doctors. We're lawyers. We're attorneys. We can, but heck, we've already seen we can be president, right? So you have to really use it for what it is. I use it for the entertainment value. Some mornings I do wake up, I do miss home. There's sometimes I could have a smell. I can smell coffee or certain things that take me back to an era. Do I play that music sometimes just to take me back to that space and time? Was it a good memory? Was it a fond memory? Yes, but it's entertainment. And that part, we have to have the tools, and we have to have spaces to be able to have that conversations with our young people, because we don't have that anymore too. And I'll be honest, our young people look at us like old timers now. Like, and you have to think, if you're a person still in the neighborhood, 50 years old, why would that young person listen to you now? Because now it's not like how it used to be before, where, they would go reach out to you and sit down and talk with the old heads. Now they're looking at you like, dude, why are you even here? Why would I take advice from you? And you're now still in the same ghetto or in the same neighborhood that I am. So why would I listen to you? So the whole dynamic of how our culture, our environment, it is changing. But the hip hop piece, let it be entertainment. Leave it as entertainment and discern the two.
Okay, tell me more about your input on George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Wow.
Be as honest as you can, like both pros and cons.
There are no pros to it.
Okay.
There's no pros to it. But I will say, I have never been as angry as I've been during that situation, because I just don't understand humanity anymore. We have we already understand our social fabric is just being torn apart. But as human beings, like when we talk about life, liberty, we all want the same things. We all want the best education, not only for ourselves, but for our kids. We want to be able to earn the best wages that we can. We all want to be able to send our kids to safe schools. We all want to save on our taxes. And to me, like, what color is that, right? It has no color. It's humanity. And the things that we can do as human beings to others. And I understand it's your job. I understand policing is a tough job. I was a criminal justice major. I sat in class and I went to school with lieutenants, captains, so I get it. It's a tough job. But my biggest qualm that I have is you chose this profession, right? You chose it. So treat it as you would treat your mother or your father, because these are still people too. And the problem is, and I'm just going to, as honest as I can be, my biggest problem is we've gone away from community-based policing. These officers don't live in these communities. They don't look like these people in these communities. They will tell you, and I've heard it said many times, they would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That mentality means I'm just doing not my job, I'm just doing a job. I'm coming in this community and I'm going home. And they don't care how they're going home. And that means if they have to kill someone to do it, then that's what they're doing. And on the surface, when I look back and reflect on those, that's exactly what it was. And to have a man as an officer stare into a camera knowing that he's being recorded and continue to leave his knee on a man's neck for the amount of time that he did with no remorse, no regard, with his hands in his pocket, was full of intent. And how could you not be enraged, especially, I know for me as a man of color, because then that means me walking out my door, that could happen to me just because of the color of my skin.
Yeah, that's true.
And Breonna Taylor, the whole, you want to give me the whole mix up, this, that, and the third, man, that whole police precinct. And again, I want to be clear. I respect our law enforcement. I know they have a very tough job to do, but you cannot tell me that these instances were pure mistakes. And to this day, though, I haven't heard, in my opinion, a legitimate apology. I haven't really felt, and I really don't feel that there was any punishment that matched, because I'm just going to call it what it was in my eyes, and I think the most who saw it, a crime. They didn't receive any punishment for what they've done that matches the crime that they did, because these people can't come back. They're gone, and their families will never get them back. So just the rage, like this is it. I'm trying to calm myself down and talk myself through it, because the rage still comes back to this day when you think about it. And that's the other problem too. We as a country need therapy.
I agree.
Because there's really no reason why. I shouldn't say there's no reason why, but I feel by now, we should have all had help in some degree because I shouldn't still feel the same type of rage that I feel when you instantly ask me about it. But yeah, man, it just makes me so mad. I can leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well said. You know what triggers me is that I believe that if there were more officers and less overworking them, like they work on 17, 18-hour shifts, they go home to their families and they don't spend that much time with their families. And I'm not saying that it was right at all. All I'm saying is that if they wouldn't work white or black, these officers half to death and defund the police, it would not. I hate that so many officers, whether black or white, get mistreated. You know, the stigma. But if they seen death, they didn't have shootouts, they numb to it, and to come be white and not understand black people, to come into a black environment and see somebody that is like a crackhead or whatever, you know, he think of him as less than.
And like he's less than a dog or less than an animal, right?
Agreed.
I would have to piggyback on just what you said. I would agree. So I don't necessarily agree with like defund the police, but I think we need to either de-obligate, re-obligate, reissue the funds in a manner. So like what you said, so these men and women are working 18, 19 hours a day. They're being exposed to probably some of the most horrific things that we don't even really, we can't even fathom some of the things that they see, right? But then they go home, they're with their families, and then they come right back to it. That money, the reissuing or de-obligating of funds should be able to, is giving them the therapy and the help that they need. They should be going through some type of therapeutic program or some type of thing, even before, if it's a traumatic issue with someone, whether shots were fired, a murder, a death, they should be going through, in my opinion, some type of therapy before they even get to go back out into the field. You need to have some type of therapy, some type of built-in therapeutic training, for them to receive, to get them that type of stress. Because I couldn't imagine, some people, in law enforcement 20 years and you've been on the beat for 20 years, I can only imagine the things that you've seen and had to deal with. And then you bring it home and you never get a chance to take a cap off and really just let it spill. You carry this with you every day. You back out in the street every day. And it's building and building and building. And yes, that is part of the reason why it happens. But again, I sit on the side where you hear that, well, they're trained professionals. So then a trained professional should not be acting, so there's so many different things in here, but I agree with you. Let's work to de-obligate or reissue, or however it is, the funds, so that they're getting the training and the support that they need as well to be the best, men and women of law enforcement. So maybe we don't have these type of things happening again.
And I think that if you're a white officer in a black neighborhood, that you need to get to know black people more other than just, and if you're a black person in a white neighborhood, the same, because every environment is different.
Agreed.
And the mental health part, I think that there should be more mental health avenues for police officers. And it's not a bad thing to need mental health, because almost everybody suffers these days in the United States.
Something.
Yeah, since the COVID, definitely.
You ain't never lied about that.
Yeah, so where do your podcast, tell me one instance where you've interviewed somebody and they touched your heart so far.
Wow. I cannot. I've had so many great guests. And I say that because, my platform is really built around that, like trying to find or get that piece that's educational, or you get a story that they're doing something that's empowering others to do something positive. And I had one sister on, her story is great. So she's Shayna Pride is her name, and she's working on a program with Brooklyn School District. She's putting together a piece to help young women of color, not only become models and actors, but she's actually giving them a global platform to where they can actually go and actually participate and different types of schools and things that she's looking to build over in Africa and other parts of the world. But what's touching about it is someone, and again, I want to be very careful because sometimes we about it is some has so many great guests. And I say that because, my platform is really built around that, like trying to find or get that people
need mental health. And the mental health part, I think that there should be a Black neighborhood that you need to get to know Black people for other podcasts. Tell me one instance where you've interviewed somebody and they
never lied about that.
Yeah, so where do your podcast? Tell me one instance where you interviewed somebody and they touched your heart so much.
I saw so many great guests. I really good around, like trying to find or get that piece of education or get a story that I do something that's do something positive. And I was just going, and share project and working on a program with some girls. She's putting together to help them, not become models, actors, but actually giving them a full back to the actual participate in different types of shows that she needs to build over Africa. So what's touching about it is someone, and when you're sometimes we judge like don't just know what you see. And see, doing my research, answering those yes, that part was the first thing from my mind. I would think someone like her would do. But that don't need a conversation because it was more important than her career. And the original, she went to that time to ask for what's she from. So we started educating me about education and my whole shit. She's broke. Look at this program and she wants to add, not only she wants to add admission. I'm not going to
and Black people died at the governor's hand. He did nothing. He caught a heart attack or something and had to be shipped to Walter Reed. Wow. Yeah, so he was supposed to take it. So it was the white person like that. This thing happened in Washington State. A 2-year-old African American boy died and got shot at the hands of the cartel. Yeah, his mother was walking him. So yeah, we it's good news to hear only because we need to know and care and have everything. But can you talk about the way you talk about the positive
stuff on their news? I mean, because all you can there's no positive things. That can everything. That's why doing it. That's
where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself going in the future?
So many.
Tell me what instance where you interview somebody and they touch your heart so far.
Wow.
Girl, her stuff internet. I must leave your business, and we must tell me one instance, and we must. Tell me what is
stuff. I want to hear the people that, like you said, that's doing
they only talk about killing. I heard only take 2-year-old African American got shot in the hands of cartel. Yeah, his mother walking him. So yeah, it's news here only because we know everything. But can you talk about the women you talk about like positive? What do you see yourself doing in the future, and where do you see yourself going for the future?
Man, they didn't receive any punishment for what they've done that matches the crime that they did because these people can't come back. They're gone, and their families will never get them back. So just the rage, like this is it. I'm trying to calm myself down and talk myself through it because the rage still comes back to this day when you think about it. And that's the other problem too. We as a country need therapy. There's really no reason why. I should say there's no reason why, but I feel by now, we should have all had help in some degree. Because I should still feel the same type of rage that I feel when you instantly ask me about it. But yeah, man, it's making so mad. I'm gonna leave it at that. There's a means for me to be able to get away from that too. There's also means that I don't have to just say that, I want to know what it is at two. There's also means that I don't have to just say that, I want to be like my favorite rapper. Because we're more than rappers, we're more than basketball players, we're doctors, we're lawyers, we're attorneys. But heck, we've already seen we can be president, right? So you have to really use it for what it is. I use it for the entertainment value. Some mornings I do miss home. There's sometimes I have a smell, I can smell coffee, certain things that take me back to an era. Do I play that music sometimes just to take me back to that space and time? Was it a good memory? Was it a fun memory? Yes, but it's entertaining. And that part, we have to have the tools. We have to have spaces to be able to have that conversations with our young people. But we don't have that anymore, too. And I'll be honest, our young people look at us like old timers now. Like, and you have to think, you're a person still in the neighborhood, 50 years old. Why would that young person listen to you now? Because now it's like old timers now. Like, you know, and you have to with our young people, because we don't have that anymore too. And I'll be honest, you know, our young people look at us like old timers now. Like, you know, and you have to think, you know, if you're a person still in the neighborhood, 50 years old, why would that young person listen to you now? Because now it's not like how it used to be before, where, you know, they would go reach out to you and sit down and talk about old heads. Now they're like, why are you even here? Why would I take advice from you? And you're now still in the same ghetto or the same neighborhood that I am. So why would I listen to you? You know, so the whole dynamic of how our culture, our environment, it is changing. But the hip hop piece, let it be entertainment. Leave it as entertainment. Let it be entertainment. Leave it. How our culture, our environment, it is changing. But the hip hop piece, let it is changing. But the hip hop piece, let it be entertainment. Be able to have that conversations with our young people, because we don't have that anymore too. And I'll be honest, the hip hop piece, let it be entertainment. Leave it as entertainment. And discern the two.
Be as honest as you can, like both pros and cons. Be as honest as you can, like be as honest as you can, like both pros and cons.
There are no pros to it.
Okay.
There's no pros to it. But I will say, I don't think
George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Wow. I have never been as angry as I've been during that situation, because I just don't understand. And because we don't have that anymore too. I have never been as angry as I've been during that situation, because I just don't understand humanity anymore. We have we already understand our social fabric is understand our social. We are
input on George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Wow. We already understand our social fabric is just being torn apart. But as human beings, like when we talk about life, liberty, you know, we all want the same things. We all want the best education, not only for ourselves, but for our kids. We want to be able to earn the best wages that we can. We all want to be able to send our kids to safe schools. We all want to save on our taxes. And to me, like, what color is that, right? It has no color. It's humanity. And the things that we can do as human beings to others. The school with lieutenants, captains. So I get it. It's a tough job. But my biggest my biggest qualm that I have is so I get it. It's a tough job. My biggest qualm that I have is you chose this profession, right? You chose it. So treat it as you would treat your mother or your father, because these are still people too. And the problem is, and I'm just going to, as honest as I can be, my biggest problem is we've gone away from community-based policing. These officers don't live in these communities. They don't look like these people in these communities. They will tell you, and I've heard it said many times, they would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. These people in these communities, they will tell you, and I've heard it, they don't look like these people in these communities. They will tell you, and I've heard it said many times, they would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That mentality means I'm just doing not my people in these communities. That mentality means I'm just doing community-based policing. These officers don't live in these communities. They don't look like these people in these communities. That mentality means I'm just doing not my job, I'm just doing a job. I'm coming in this community and I'm going home, and they don't care how they're going home. And that means if they have to kill someone to do it, then that's what they're doing. And on the surface, when I look back, I have to kill someone to do it, then that's what they're doing. And on the surface, when I look back and reflect on those, that's exactly what it was. And to have a man as an officer staring to a camera, knowing that he's being recorded, and continue to leave his knee on a man's neck for the amount of time that he did with no remorse, no regard, with his hands in his pocket, it's full of intent. You know, and how could you not be enraged, especially, I know for me as a man of color, because then that means me walking out my door, that can happen to me just because of the color of my skin.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and Breonna Taylor, you want to give me the whole mix up, this, that, and the third, man, that whole police precinct, you see people there, color of my skin.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going home. And that means if they have to kill someone to do it, then that's what they're doing. You know, and Breonna Taylor, the whole war, that's what they're doing. Means if they have to kill someone to do it, then that's what they're doing. You know, and Breonna Taylor, you want to give me the whole mix up, this, that, and the third, man, that whole police precinct. And again, I want to be clear. I respect our law enforcement. I know they have a very tough job to do, but you cannot tell but you cannot tell me that these instances were pure mistakes. And to this day, though, I haven't heard, in my opinion, a legitimate apology. I really don't feel like there's any punishment that matched, because I'm just going to call it what it was in my eyes. I think most who saw it, a crime. They didn't receive any punishment for what they've done that matches the crime that they did, because these people can't come back.
Well said. You know what triggers
job to do, but you cannot tell me that these instances were pure mistakes.
Well said. You know what triggers me is that I believe that if there were more officers and less overworking them, 17, 18-hour shifts, or white, they get mistreated, you know, stigma. But if they see death, they didn't have shootouts, then they numb to it. And to come be white and not understand black people to come into a black environment and see somebody that is like a crackhead or whatever, you know, he think of him a less sad, or you know, he think of him a less than.
And like he's less than a dog or less than an animal, right?
Agreed.
I would have to piggyback on just what you said. I would agree. So I don't necessarily agree with like defund the police, but I think we need to either de-obligate, reissue the funds in a manner. So like what you said, so these men and women are working 18, 19 hours a day. They're being exposed to probably some of the most horrific things that we don't even really, we can't even fathom some of the things that they see, right? But then they go home, they were with their families, and then they come right back to it. That money, the reissuing or de-obligating of funds should be able to, is giving them the therapy and the help that they need. They should be going through some type of therapeutic program or some type of thing, even before, if it's a traumatic issue with someone, whether shots were fired, a murder, a death, they should be going through, in my opinion, some type of therapy before they even get to go back out into the field. You need to have some type of therapy, some type of built-in therapeutic training, you know, for them to receive, you know, to get them that type of stress. Because I couldn't imagine, you know, some people, you know, in law enforcement, 20, you know, cell phone link, in law enforcement, cell phone link, or, you know, in law enforcement, 20, you know, cell phone link. And some type of therapy before they even get to go back out into the field. In law enforcement 20 years, and you've been on the beat for 20 years, I can only imagine the things that you've seen and had to deal with. And then you bring it home, and you never get it, and you never get a chance to take a cap off and really just let it spill. You carry this with you every day. You back out in the street every day, and you know it's building and building and building. And yes, that is part of the reason why it happens. But again, I sit on this side. I was even it's building and building and building. And yes, that is part of the reason why it happens. But again, I sit on the side where you hear that, well, they're trained professionals. So then a trained professional should not be acting, you know. So there's so many different things in here, you know, but I agree with you. Let's work to de-obligate or reissue, or however it is, the funds, so that they're getting the training and the support that they need as well to be the best, you know, men and women of law enforcement. So maybe we don't have these type of things happen again.
And I think that if you're a white officer in a black neighborhood, that you need to get to know black people more other than one that
day. And you know, it's building and building and building. And yes, that is part of the reason why it happened.
And I think that if you're a white officer in a black neighborhood, that you need to get to know black people.
No.
You know, because almost everybody suffers these days in the United
From
States.
Something.
Yeah, since the COVID, definitely.
You ain't never lied about that.
Yeah, so where do you, your podcast, what do you see yourself doing in the future? Almost everybody suffers these days in the United
From
States.
Something.
What do you see yourself doing in the future, and where do you see yourself going for the future?
Man, I'm a big dreamer. And when I say big dreamer, dream is not a good word for me. I like to do things big. I don't want to be a small fish in a small pond. This, to myself, has really taken legs and grown fast. And I have to give my wife full credit. She's like, you have to be ready, but this thing is going to grow faster than you realize. And you're not going to see how other people see it. And I've had other guests come on, some celebrity guests. The reason why they came on is just because of, you know, look, everybody look at numbers. Okay, your numbers, yeah, you're not 20,000, 30,000 followers, but what you're doing is different. And it's hard to do because nobody wants to do it. And that's the reason why. And that's what makes me keep going. That's what encourages me to keep going. And now, you know, I've been blessed to be I'm airing on the Mobile TV Global Network, you know, #1 network of positive TV programming. We're in 42 countries. We got 100 million viewer subscribership. I actually just had the offer. She just offered me to start my own channel on the network. So that's why I'm looking. I'm looking to grow and do bigger and better things. I'm learning how to write now for different TV networks and other, you know, talking about Netflix and WETA and MP, learning all of these things. So that's where I'm looking to go. I'm looking to go ahead and continue to grow and develop this. I'm going to say, the door, WETA and MP, learning all of these things.
Okay, that's perfect.
2 countries. We got 100 million viewer subscribership. So that's where I'm looking to go. I'm looking to go ahead and continue to grow and develop this. I'm looking for, you know, other podcasters and YouTubers who want an opportunity to expand their brand and tell their story.
To let y'all know, I had to edit it at 58 minutes for MNN.
Hit me up. That's the direction. That's the future, not of only 2 Mics Up, but the future network and channel that I'll be bringing shortly. So I'm just looking to grow. Just keep this thing going positively.
Thank you for everything. I would like to say one more thing and learn your input on what I have. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. I would like to say one more thing and learn your input on what I have to say. No matter what we do in America, we will always be African American.
Yes.
Like, I love being African American. I hate the stigma with being African American, but I love it. And I feel like right now that we should sit up there and start forming like some type of coalition or group or beyond a group setting where we discuss not with who's in what stage of their life, whether middle class, upper class, or lower class. We all need to come together to figure out what we want. Because in California, they're doing reparations, trying to do reparations. Yeah. And why is it just in California and it's on hold? So you know, no matter what you do, you will always be African American. And it may have a 50% or I say to me 25% rate of sucking, but 75% of me in my heart, I appreciate it because it makes me a stronger individual.
I agree, and I just think, and I'm trying to make it as short and succinct as I can. We have to stop the hate, and when I say the hate on each other. Because what you think you see someone, what they have, you don't know what they went through or where they.
Thank you for everything. I would like to know about the director. Thank you for everything. I would like to say one more guess. Tell about the director. Everything.
Positively.
I would like to say one more thing and learn.
Positively.
I would like to say one more thing and learn your input on what I have.
Way out.
Stronger individual.
I agree. And I just think, and I'm going to try to make it as short and succinct as I can. And I'm going to try to make it as short and succinct as I can. We have to stop the hate. And when I say the hate on each other.
I agree.
Because what you think you see someone, what they have, you don't know what they went through or where they came from to get it. Now, my mom used to always tell me, there's a reason why you got two ears and one mouth. It's twice as hard to listen because your mouth always wants to go. But if you take time to listen, you can find out everything that you need. Everybody, we want to talk. We want to give information. That's what human beings do. If you could just shut your mouth long enough to let your ears hear, you'd actually find your way out. But until then, until we can get to that point where we're open and accepting to listening to each other without already having prejudged hate, it's going to be very difficult, Kimberly, for us to get there. Do I think we can? Yes. But for me, that's the first hurdle. And that I don't have an answer to.
All lives matter to me.
They do.
Yes.
I agree. They do.
Well, I want to thank you. Stay on the line for joining my show. And you guys take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys another time. Bye. Now we need music. Okay. Here we go.
You can.
Wrong one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kim. There. Be safe, and I'll see y'all another time. Bye.
All right, bless you, Kim.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling? Be safe, and I'll see y'all another time. Bye.
All right, bless you, Kim.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very special guest here for the show today.
I was in and out of things in the sense of You know, if I look back, if I could have applied
my
myself more, who knows what?
where you're caught. What is this? Oh, I know what it is. If it ain't one thing, it's a F another. What is that red dot? That red box on my crop? In my show, and you guys take care, be safe, and I'll guys take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys another time. Bye. Okay, that's good enough. I love that song. I went in the they talking about the theme is gangsters, Russian gangsters, but the they basically they say don't mess with us. We're powerful. Guaranteed that's what they say. Featuring what is his name? Oh God, John J.R. Rennie and Damon Cunningham. Ain't nothing gangster about me, by the way. I am not a gangster, but I enjoy different music because you got your rap music. I can't listen to Russian rap. They really hardcore. They beyond rap. You got rappers talking about them. Give me a second, y'all. Oh my God. I feel like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Successful. We gotta go. I do one last thing. Y'all about to see it. Just give me a second. Shoot. Fiddlesticks. Okay, that's my cue to leave it alone. Where is it at? Oh, I gotta sit up there and redo that. Live. Live. Bear with me, you guys. I'm doing something right now. Okay, one last time. Jesus. Hold up, I'm almost finished. Okay, now here comes the fun part. Okay, I have all these tabs up. Let me make sure. First, we're going to do this one. Before I do it, it should be 58 minutes. There we go, it's right there. Now we need their email addresses. Email to who? John J. R. You know what? Brush fires. Info. Where is WeTransfer? That's one. Now we need the other one. I'll do this later. Okay. So we need Yahoo. Let's see. Um, what to do? What to do? What to do? Now we're gonna go to Damon Cunningham. Two mics up. Copy. I was just about to be mad. Select folder. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Okay. That's going. Now the really fun part. DCTV versus Wisconsin. What did I do with it? Ah, fiddlesticks. What's the program name? 575212. 575212. The Kimberly Cloud Show featuring Damon, no, John J.R. Rennie with Brush Fire Ministries and Damon Cunningham with two mics up. The Kimberly Show, LLC. Individual, November, non-resident. Produce elsewhere. Adult content, no. No. Kimberly Cloud. Today's date, 23rd. I understand and agree. Civil rights, global. Then Thurston County Media. I forgot about them. Oh, I ain't mean to do that. I know they're gonna be mad when I did that. Give me a second, you guys. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Uh, okay, that's going, that's going, that's going, that's going. It's all going. It's all good. Now Thurston County Media. Oh, I gotta upload something. Do it one more time. I'm about to show y'all. Just give me a second. I gotta make sure this is correct. I hope I spelled his name right. I never seen a name like that before. Before I go there, let me go to Thurston County Media. Community. I know they like community, woman. How many times you gotta say this crap? Okay. This is the last one I'll be doing. I'm doing DCTV too, but this is the last one I'll be. Send that. That is being sent. Take that down. Facebook, copy, leave that up. That's still going. That, 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 that. I don't need that. That, that, that. Now I go here. Once the WeTransfer stop, then it should be a go. It's at 81%. 82 exactly. Now I can copy and paste this. That's the download. I'm glad I ain't nowhere trying to do this on a daggone 85%. I love her hair. Don't touch my hair. Okay, 93%. Close that out. Keep that up. Is it still a go? It's almost done. 95%. 96%. It's halfway. 10 minutes. Uploading. Where's WeTransfer? It's almost there. I'm gonna fix me some French fries and an egg roll. Feel like I'm at a Chinese restaurant. Okay, that's done. I'm done. It's done. One of them. Who is next? Where is it? %93. 94. I'll just wait till it come out. Let me show y'all what I'm afraid to show y'all. Okay, there we go. Back in action. Go ahead and this is a what? High efficiency video. Submit. MPEG MV4. There we go. That's going. Any day now, Facebook, you can say upload in and let me know. 5 more minutes or 10. I know what I can do. I know why it's taking so long. That threw me off a little bit. I put two of them on there. Where is it at? $3 for one. $2. Facebook, Wisconsin Media. It'll go down. $1 46.
Believe it or not, baby. At University of Phoenix.
58 seconds. Okay, that came in. It's done. Um, I may have to get off of here. It's going to take a while for these to upload. Be sure. Yeah, I'm going to have to get off of here, y'all. Because I got to get ready for bed. I'm just going to leave my thing open while I cook, and then it should be done. Because the more I stream off of here, the more I stream off of everywhere else, it's going to be really messed up. So I see you guys later. Okay. I've written out to 9 companies, 9 different companies, newer companies in Wisconsin. So yeah. Take care, man. Bye.